Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Sunday, April 25th, 2021. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day today. Today, I went for a nice and easy run. I put some ultras on because I wanted as much room in the toe box for today's run, for a recovery run today, as I could find. So I put those on and I ran on some grass, some dirt road, did some hills, but just getting on some soft surfaces and had a nice run. But I'm very glad that I ran the virtual half marathon yesterday and not today as originally planned, because today was cold. It was below 40, which, in the big scheme of things is that cold, but for, late April, it's pretty chilly. And it was really windy today. So I was very glad that I got in the run yesterday. How are you guys doing today? How's everyone on the podcast doing an audio only version? Hopefully you're having a good run. Everyone catching this on YouTube after the fact, not live. I appreciate you guys and glad you guys are here. Christy says, mad props to the Co family this weekend for race efforts. Hanging with my son today. Won't be on the live stream. Enjoy, everyone. See you soon. Awesome. Well, have a good day, Chris, for you and your son. Hopefully have a good one. Philip Bourne says, yo, what's going on, fellow Kofuzians? Finished a busy week with a week 6K run in the evening. New apartment is prepped to move in. Tomorrow, femto LASIK for my eyes. Tuesday morning, then the move. Wow, that's a busy couple of days, Philip. Hopefully everything turns out well for you. Everything is smooth. Wow, yeah, that is. Martha says, yeah, it's a busy schedule. A lot of major things happening at once, for sure. And it says, hi, Kofuzi and everybody. Happy Sunday. What's going on? And it's good to see you too. Sam Matassa says, sup, Chris? What's going on, Sam? KCA says, hello, everyone. Back from a nice, easy Sunday run. Having a fruit punch noon recovery drink for the live stream. Great way to wrap up the week. I need some better recovery drinks in here right now. I'm still finishing up that Science and Sport Rego. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm almost done with it. And then I've been drinking the Huma. There's like a hydration drink. It's just a powder, kind of like a Noon. I think maybe a gram or two of sugar, but mostly just electrolytes and like salts and stuff. I don't love that one either. So I'm like craving some new. I'm craving Noon, not only the recovery drink, like the hydration drink, but like the recovery drink as well. The one with the BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. I really like that one. That's a good like daily drink. So I think I got to get some new stuff. But I'm also like open to try new stuff too. Just trying a whole bunch of new stuff to see what's out there. But I'm ready for a change. David probably says, happy Sunday, Kofuzians. What's going on, David? Good to see you again. Jeff Elliott says, hello. Jeff says, congrats to all the racers this weekend. Kurt Steege says, hey, folks. And Mile Ivanov, good to see you again, says, congrats for the excellent time today. Well, thanks, Mile. Thank you so much. Rick says, hey, everyone just returned from a glorious 11-mile run like that. Says, hope that everyone else's Sunday run went well. Very cool. One of the things that I found on my run today, I guess find is the right word. So I'm running up like the one big hill that Chicago has, and I get to the top of it, and there's a divvy bike, like a bike share bike. Some of them are electric and some of them are not. And so like someone had ridden, I'm guessing someone had ridden a divvy, like a bike share electric bike, just up and down the hill a whole bunch of times. And then it got to the top and then they just left it up there. So that was kind of like sad to see like that someone did that, but kind of funny, but mostly just annoying. Cause then there was like a bike in the middle of the hill that I was trying to run, or at the top of the hill. But yeah. All right. Let's see. I got my afternoon coffee for today. I mean, I brewed it a little while ago, but it's still hot in this thermos cup. But I was like, I'm not deep enough into it that I thought I needed another one. But I think this will get me through the live stream today. Oh, before I forget, everybody, I'm going to try something out tomorrow, something a little bit different. I'm going to try a time change. So, mostly it has to do with my daughter's school schedule. Now, her school schedule has been this way for a long time, but for whatever reason, it didn't occur to me until like a couple of weeks ago that, if I moved the live stream, it would really work out a lot better with basically everyone's schedule in my house. So I'd like to try for tomorrow. We'll try it tomorrow, see if we like it or not. If we don't like it, totally cool. We'll go back to it. But let's try tomorrow, live stream at 1 p.m. Central rather than 3 p.m. Central. So 2 hours earlier than normal for tomorrow. So before I forget, I want to try that out, see how that works. Because if we do that, then like it really opens up the afternoon at a time when like the girls normally are kind of just get a little too much screen time and bug my wife a little bit too much. So we're gonna try that tomorrow. So hopefully that doesn't. I know that that may affect some of you, but hopefully it could work. All right. Steve said, "Hi all, a fun half easy pace on the trail. Nice. Same to see Ben, DNF, Andy, and Matt Welsh Runner having bad races. Yeah, it was a tough day today. I was pretty bummed out to find that. The other thing that I did find out this morning, like when I woke up, I thought they were all running the same marathon for some reason. That wasn't the case. I got that all sorted out. I figured out which marathons they were each running. But yeah, Inna said, I don't think Ben Parks and the Welsh Runner had a good marathon today. Did anyone hear how Andy did? Yeah. So Steve's got it. Andy came in at 2:55, which I just saw he put up an Instagram post about it. He's, disappointed, it seems. I'll let you guys go look at it. I won't, take too much of his thunder, but, it was overall pretty positive about it. It seemed like there was something going on in the last 10K of that race that was pretty tough. I don't know if weather conditions were tough, where that Shepherdine marathon was, but, so, we'll see, but he still came at the same time. Like I think his previous PR was 3:14. So he went from a 3:14 to a 2:55. Now his training certainly indicates that he's much stronger than that, he could do even better than 2:55. But, still 20 minute PR is nothing to shake a stick at, especially if you were starting at 3:14. So, it's tough for him. Cameron Anderson says, PR this weekend for the Eugene Marathon, 1:26:31. Awesome, Cameron. Great job. Oh, where are we going with? We're not getting audio right now. How come that audio is not working? Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear the cowbell. I'm not hearing the cowbell. It's not coming through. I don't know what's going on with the cowbell. I should be getting cowbell, but I don't see any. I'm not hearing any cowbell. Sorry, guys. Where's my daughter? I can't see if she can get me a real cowbell. But Cameron, I'll find the cowbell. All right. Hostdog1 says, hello to all. So, Co, is Adios Pro the shoe of choice and still becoming your favorite? Seems to be the go-to. Yeah, that's my favorite. Hey, can you give me a cowbell? Do you know where there's a cowbell? Do you know where there's a cowbell? Okay. Sorry, she doesn't know where the cowbell is. So, no cowbells today, guys. I don't know why my computer's not giving me the audio for the cowbells. It seems like it should do that. What's going on here? Something's happening. Oh, I think I got it. I think I figured it out. And I think my daughter. Here we go. Cowbell, a real cowbell. We have to do it far away because it's super loud. But good job, Cameron, for the Eugene Half Marathon. All right. Hostdog1 says, thank you for getting me the cowbell. Is the Adios Pro the favorite? Yeah, that's pretty much my favorite racing shoe right now. Because I think it can handle short distances like a 5K. I think it can handle a half marathon. I think it can handle a marathon. So I like it at all those distances. I love the Light Strike Pro foam. It's fantastic. I'm very keen. I think my next race, I'm going to try the Metaspeed Sky, or I'd like to try the Metaspeed Sky for a very long distance. I don't know if I'll try it at my next race or not. My next race is probably, I haven't signed up for it yet, but I'm thinking that I'm going to do, there's a marathon out in the suburbs. It's a marathon and a half marathon the same day out in Schaumburg, which is known because it has one of every chain everything. So there's like an IKEA out there. There's a, like all the chain restaurants are there. All like the mall. There's like, it's just a city of malls. But apparently there's a marathon that's out there. And yeah, so, but I'm going to use that as a workout on the way to my 50K. So I don't know that I'll be trying to run it very fast. I'm going to try to run it very controlled because that race will be 2 weeks before the 50K. But I would like to try and get some race time in with the Metaspeed Sky. I did a time trial, but I'd like to do something like a race. So we'll see about that because I do really like that one quite a bit. But I'm also got in the back of my head, they told me June for the Metaspeed Edge, and I think I'm going to like that one the most. I suspect that I will like it a lot. Maybe not more than the Audios Pro, but I know I'll like it a lot. All right, let's get back to Ben and Welsh Runner. So Welsh Runner, I thought he seemed disappointed in his run today, but he did finish. I don't remember the time that he had on it, though. It wasn't his goal time. But I mean, he's a really strong runner, so his time was impressive nonetheless. But he was disappointed. And then Ben, I think he made it to the 16-mile mark and then pulled out. So yeah, that was disappointing to see. So, but live to fight another day for those guys. I mean, I think Ben, once he can get some solid training under his belt, he's had some hiccups the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he'll be able to straighten things out once we hit some warmer weather. And then Welsh Runner, I don't know if it was just the day. It seemed like a lot of people had a hard time. Here's the other thing. Oh, did you guys see also Seth ran today? He came in third at the Toledo Glass City Marathon, the half marathon, at 67, I want to say. So, it wasn't his PR, which I think is what he was looking for, but, it's always amazing to get a podium, I think. And then the other thing was, did you guys see, what happened at the Toledo, the glass? Is that the same one? I saw Noah Droddy and was it Fast Women tweeted out saying that like the course marshals, like the volunteers, like directed the runners in the wrong way. And so like everyone got like in the lead packet anyway, like ran extra. Now I don't think that affected Seth, but I know it affected a lot of people. I saw a couple of other runners saying that like they went down like an extra big hill and then they had to go back up it and then resume the course. And it was just, yeah, I don't understand how that happened. Same thing happened to Ben Parks too. He did a 10K and there was like a bike that was supposed to take him out and turn around after like, the 10th cone or whatever. And they turned around early. And so like, it's like you have one job. And so I don't know how that happens. All right. Someone asked, yeah, Hosdog said Welsh Runner was on 2:35. That's what I thought I saw. He was aiming for 2:25. So, I mean, that's quite a bit off, but 2:35 is not a bad time, so, and Frank said Ben was looking at a great time before he DNF'd. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to DNF. Benzie says, I'll get the cowbell out. My goal at 50 was 18.99 and I got it. I'm guessing 18.59. Behind a name from two guys, also 50-ish. Nice. Good work, Benzie News. Great job. And Ben White said, is that the race Shannon ran? Yeah, it is. It is. Because I saw there was a photo that Seth posted and Shannon's in there. There's a big group photo of people. So that was super cool to see everybody. I recognize two people in the photo, but it's good to see people out there getting together again. Martha says Shannon ran in a half marathon. She got a 150 and change, and Eric Vinsky also awesome. Also ran the full. Cool, very cool, Martha. Thanks for the update. Very cool. Lucas Lully with a long run PR says today's our birthday, and to celebrate, I ran the longest ever, 25K. In 2 hours and 15 minutes. That is a loud bell, guys. I don't know if it's that loud for you, but for me, it's super loud. But great job, Lucas. Awesome. What a great way to celebrate a birthday. Kurt says, haha, I actually did that to a race before. You did, Kurt? He says, way back, I was in to help lead a race, but the course markings were off, so I had to turn everyone around. Oh, man. That's crazy. I was having a little bit of not anxiety. I was having a lot of nervousness today because I'm getting ready to run this 50K race, and it's in, like it's described as a wild trail in Northeast Iowa, and I got lost in in a state park in that region of the country. I've been in the Wisconsin Dells. I think it was a pretty well-marked trail. And I got lost there. So like I'm really starting to get really nervous about this 50K race that I'm doing. It's 225K laps. On the website, they say it's really well marked course, but I'm like, how well? Is like, I'm going to test that. And I was just scrolling through Twitter today and someone was like, yeah, I was running a race. And who was it? I'm trying to think. Was it Daniela Moreno? I don't know if it was her or not. Someone was saying that they just ran a race and they added a couple of miles onto it because they took a turn and they knew it was the wrong way, but they were like, I think this is it. Maybe it is. I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to like be trepidatious about it. And they kept going until like there was just signs that said like trail closed. And they were like, oh, this is definitely not the right way. And it was a nice downhill the entire time. So then she had to run back up the hill and regain the course. So I'm like, oh man, that's going to happen to me. I'm going to make this 50K a 60K easily. We'll see. We'll see. All right. My mouse froze up again. Does that all the time. Let's see. We got something from 23 millimeter roadie. All right. 23 millimeter roadie said, ran my first marathon today. 257.43. Ooh, over the moon. Age 47 at 257. That's blazing. Awesome. Great job. Great job. All right. My 2 cents says, hey guys, long time no see. Life has been busy. Glad to catch you today, Co. Oh, good to see you again. My 2 cents. Welcome back. Todd Morimoto coming in with the official stats for Andy. He came in 24th overall, and then 15th in the age group. I mean, like, how incredible is that? Like, that was, I mean, you think like I've never heard of this race before, and like, a 255 gets you only 24th place. That's pretty amazing. Or maybe for winning a marathon. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Anyway, Super Schmaltz says, what's going on? She says, last time I ran the Lincoln Park run for the zoo in 2019, no course marshal at a poorly marked spot and everyone was cutting the course. Really? Oh, that's funny. When I ran the rock and roll 5K, which was like, I think that's still technically my PR because I haven't run a faster chip time race. That happened to me too. But like, there's that part along the lakefront, kind of like at Monroe Harbor, where it splits and there's like an area where like the bikes can go and there's a parallel like path where the pedestrians can go. And at some point we were supposed to drop down from the bike part to the pedestrian part, the way that the course was set up. And I did it wrong or something like that. So like, I was worried. I'm like, did I just cut the course? I probably cut the course, but it's not like I won anything, but I corrected it very quickly, but like 3 or 4 people followed me and we were all like, is this the right way? Where are we supposed to go? So I've been in that experience. I think that like, if it had been a situation was like, oh no, you were supposed to turn back there, run back and then go, and then you can finish the course. If it would have been that, I would have just been like, I'm jogging it at this point. Screw it. That's what I would have been. Like, I don't know how people can like recollect themselves after that happens. It takes a different kind of resolve to do that. Ben White says, didn't this happen in another elite race? The lead pack got directed pretty far out onto a busy road with the cars. Guy who was previously 5th or something ended up winning without realizing. I don't know. I mean, I think it happens. I think it does happen, but yeah, it's really weird when it does. I still think it's weird. Burp says, Kofuzi, have you or any others in the chat run the 20-mile loop around Lake Geneva by the mansions? Think of it. How is it? Thanks. I actually just saw someone that is an acquaintance, someone I recognize in the Chicago running scene. She just posted a photo. She's up there right now running around Lake Geneva. I've run it, but only in the winter time. I've never been out there in the summer. And the one thing that I will say about it is, so the way that Lake Geneva works is it's one of those situations where all the titles, like all the deeds out there are not it's not just, you don't just buy the property. You have to maintain some level of public access to the waterfront if you want to own lakefront property on Lake Geneva. And so you can run around the entire thing. But some people make it harder for you to run around it than other people do, because they don't want you basically running on their property, on their like multi-million-dollar lake house property. So but other people like make a nice paved, like either with pavers or cobblestone or a nicely like laid down like dirt kind of like walking path. So it's very clear where you're supposed to go. I've tried doing the 20-mile loop, and I've given up 2 times trying to do it, because there's certain parts where there's like a little inlet or something, and you've got to find like a bridge, like a land bridge to go over to make it all the way around. And I've missed it, and I'm like, I don't know where it is. And then I ended up in like this neighborhood, and I was like, this is not right. I'm not near the water anymore. And now I'm just running through people's backyards. And so I've gotten lost twice, but then again, I get lost all the time. But I got lost twice trying to do it, and I instead just double back, because I was like, it's 5 degrees out. I can't like afford to be lost out here. So I've never tried to make the entire 20 miles, but I've tried to, like, when I've been up there for like a weekend, I'm like, I'll do this section, then another section, and then another section to see if I could connect the loop. And I've never been able to connect all the pieces, but I think it's pretty doable. I'll probably look at a Strava heat map, and you could probably find it. I never bothered to do that, but it is beautiful and very picturesque to run around Lake Geneva. Yeah, Terry Furlong says, when I run trails, I use my Garmin for the mapping. I still get lost. I am that guy. I'm with you, Terry. I've been looking at watch video reviews of the Garmin 945 and the Phoenix, the 5 and the 6 series. Sorry, I got like not a rash, but my skin's irritated on my forearm. It's been itching. I'm going to try not to scratch it. But yeah, so I get lost all the time too. Speaking of getting lost, I got lost in Devil's Lake, which is a park in the Wisconsin Dells. I got lost there really bad, and there's no self-service in there. So I had an Apple Watch, which had full maps, but because I had no cell service, all I saw was a dot on like a literal grid. And it kept doing the pulsing thing, but it was like, it didn't show me any directions. It didn't even tell me which way was north. And I think this was before the compass thing got added into the Apple Watch? Or maybe it did have a compass. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I just get really, really lost. Steve says, time to repeat, I'm a cat. That's right. That was that time. I also got stuck up on some rocks too. I was like, how did I get up here? Now I can't get down. I'm stuck. Yeah. Remy says, first run in a month coming on Tuesday. Awesome. Well, I hope you get a good one, Remy. All right. Let's see. Kurt says, I also got myself lost on a 50K. A bunch of folks did. It was 5 10K loops each with 1,000 feet of elevation. Luckily, I somehow ran a 10K loop, so it was all good. But I had to bushwhack a little bit. See, this is where I feel like I'm going to get in trouble, because I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to, like, there said that you could bring something for a drop if you wanted to set up a drop bag, but I'm just going to carry everything myself. But I'm just going to bring a lot of like sport drink and gels, and that's it. It's a 50K. I anticipate it'll take me about 5 hours, I'm thinking. So, yeah. But I have a feeling like I'm just going to get lost in the woods, and I'd be like, this guy, and they're going to be like, this guy went into the woods up here with no jacket, no means of making a shelter, no flints, no way of making fire. I'm like, I don't, what do I need all that stuff for? But I have a feeling like I'm going to find myself in a situation where I'm like, I should have brought a first aid kit. I'm a little bit nervous about it. Daniel Malouf says, you'll run Chicago Marathon this year? Yes, I will be. I will be running the Chicago Marathon. So I'm thinking so far I got to run it over. I got to talk to it with my running buddy. By the way, my running buddy got his second vaccine shot Saturday. So he texted me while he was in like the post-shot observation. He's like, let's go for a run May 8th. So it's like, yeah, you got it. So I don't know what his goals are going to be, but I think I'm going to try to just run with him and pace him for it. He ran 3:26 last year. And so I don't know if he's going to be going for the BQ, which will be 310. That's a lot of difference, but we'll see where he's at. We'll see where he's at, but I'll probably just run it with him and pace him. And then also be running CIM this year. Hopefully they'll have it. I just heard that a couple of races in California got canceled. So so that gives me a little bit of pause, but we'll see. Hopefully that'll all get sorted out by then. All right. Martha says, my coach Tom manages the finish live for Western States. He also finished 7th, I think, around 2003. Awesome. Yeah, Kirsty says, the one I felt worst for was Gary Robbins getting lost at the very end of Barkley Marathons, then basically missed by a few seconds. Yeah. That's a tough one. That was heartbreaking. Jeff Elliott says, you should take a drop bag, just some anti-chafe, maybe a little real food and some spare pair of socks. Better to not need than not. That's a good point. I have a feeling there's going to be a water crossing that I'm just going to not really anticipate. And yeah, so maybe I'll bring extra socks. Maybe I'll put another pair of shoes in there just in case as well. But I've never packed a drop bag. I actually don't know what goes in a drop bag or if like how big a drop bag's supposed to be. So I don't know. Yeah. Martha says, California now has one of the lowest infection rates in the country. I think it's become a highly vaccinated state for obvious reasons and hope things are quiet by December for CIM. I hope so too. I'm really looking forward to that race. But I think it was like this, was it Billy Yang that tweeted about it? The San Diego 100 or something like that got canceled. And it was like, an outdoor trail race, that's not going to have a lot of spectators, got canceled, which is surprising. But I guess like, the county is still not permitting, activities of a certain size. So I guess it falls within that. But yeah. Yana says, I got lost on a trail last week. I was running around a small creek, needed to cross it. There were a couple small bridges and I missed all of them and it was getting dark and it wasn't fun. Yeah. That sounds terrifying to me. So on that note, I'm looking at this website for this Crater Trail race and like most of it, it's like, I see there's some children there because I think there's like a mile fun run. And then there's I think there's normally a 10K, a 25K and a 50K at this event. And so there's like pictures of like children running it, families running it. And then there's like just one photo of everyone in headlights and I'm like headlamps. And I'm like, what do they need headlamps for? This is a race that starts at 6 a.m. in June. So I'm like, what the heck? But maybe there was a year where it started like very, very early or something. But I don't know. But like, I don't want to run in the dark. I've been looking to see like, well, maybe there are some other like trail events that I can do in like July or August before I really start getting into marathon training for the fall. But the only things that are available are like night races, which makes sense in the summer in like the desert, for example. But like, I just don't want to run at night. Once it gets dark, I'm like, nope. I think part of it is I have really bad night vision. Jeff Elliott says, I had a super burrito in my drop bag during my Mountain 50K and it was the best burrito ever. I'm hoping, knock on wood, that like I'm just gonna like be cruising along, not that I'll be like winning the race or anything by any means, but I just want to be like a little engine that could and just like chugging along. And I don't want to stop like stop and sit down. So like, I don't know, maybe having some pizza in there. Maybe I'll put some pizza in there. Maybe we'll go to Happy Joe's the night before, get some Happy Joe's, put it in the drop bag. Maybe my drop bag will just be a box of pizza with some socks taped to the top. Because either way, if I end up needing it, great. Then I've got pizza during the trail race. If I don't need it, awesome. I got pizza after the trail race. So that's kind of like, maybe that's the way to go. I really want to I would love to be sponsored by Happy Joe's. Like I've tried reaching out to their social media team, but I just think it's a pretty small franchise. I don't know that there's anyone like actually manning the social media account, but like, I'd love to be able to put the Happy Joe's logo on a singlet. And I'll run with that. I'll run a 50K for some free pizza. I'll make my own singlet. You know, that's kind of what maybe I should reach out to them. I think that'd be fun. Or maybe I'll reach out to the local brewery that's there and see if maybe we can work out something. Maybe we get a discount for anyone that shows up and wants to grab a beer afterwards. Yeah. AJ Munn says, you think you're staying in Chicago this summer? We're hoping to spend some time in Iowa just so that the kids can play with their cousins this summer. Last summer we were there, but like we didn't really see anybody. This summer we feel a little bit more comfortable like doing stuff outside. All the adults will be vaccinated, the kids won't, but I think that at least that eliminates a lot of potential infections. So I think that's something we're hoping to do. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. My wife and I still talking about it, trying to figure it out. But we'll be here for a lot of it. We'll be not here for some of it too. Martha says, all the 5Ks I was looking at in San Diego from when we were there in May have been canceled too. They're playing it safe for a while, probably wisely. Yeah, I think that's probably the right call. It's a tough call to make. And it could be a politically very expensive call to make. But ultimately, I think it's the right call. I mean, yeah. All right, where did it see? Remy says, bring a headlamp. Do you think I need to bring a headlamp? It starts at 6. I expect to be done by 11 a.m. I guess by then the brush cover could be like, the canopy or whatever could be. Okay, I'll bring it. And then if I don't need it, I'll put it in the drop bag along with my pizza and maybe a Subway sandwich, like a Jimmy John sandwich or something. I don't know. Neil Rooney says, hey man, a big hello from Dublin, Ireland. Well, hello to you too, sir. How's it going, Neil? All right. Secretly says, race information normally tells you restrictions on drop bag size. 50K, if there are 8 stations, then you shouldn't need them. 100K, you want spare nutrition, change of socks, and maybe a shirt. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. I thought that for 50K, they wouldn't offer it, but they say that there's going to be, I think, 1 drop location, maybe even 2. I'm not sure. Which then makes me think like, am I underestimating what 5,700 feet of climbing is going to be like? I don't know. Runner Dre wants to know, is it a trail race? Am I practicing on trails? It is a trail race, and I'm not going to end up having a lot of practice on trails. That's just going to be like, I'm going to have to live with that. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about my ankle strength overall, but I do think that I'm going to be starting, like, basically in a couple of days, I'll be starting to do some plyometrics, just overall, like something that I want to start incorporating more. I literally want more spring in my step. And so I think I'll be doing a lot of leg strengthening exercises. So hopefully that'll be like on grass and dirt road. So hopefully that will help with some of the ankle strength and overall leg strength that I'll need. I do need to try and find like at least one day, a couple of weeks out, to get like, at least get 1 or 2 really big like hill workouts in. I don't know when or where I'll do that, but I might have to try. I mean, I do have availability of a car now, so maybe I'll try and run somewhere in some of the suburbs. There's a couple of places that I keep seeing people are frequently going. There's like a 10-mile loop in a forest preserve. I think it's about 700 feet of elevation on the 10-mile loop. So I figure if you do that twice, it's 1,400 feet. It's not a ton, but it'd be something more, So, or maybe I could just find the part that has the elevation if it's concentrated and just do that over and over. Well, I'll think of something. Will Gravel says there's definitely no races here in San Diego. Numbers are just so low right now. Hope we can start having at least some small races in the summer. Hoping for America's finest city in August. I'm not familiar with that race. I'm hoping for the Carlsbad 5,000. I really want to run that one. And I think the timing will work out well. I want to do the Falmouth Road Race, which for now seems to it's going to go. That's in Massachusetts. And then I guess I'd be the super spreader and be going from Chicago to Massachusetts to San Diego. But I'd like to do both of those races in August. That I think would be a lot of fun. 2 famous races with a lot of history that I think would be a lot of fun to run. But hopefully hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully it'll be safe to do that. And if I do fly, do those races, I could probably drive to Falmouth in Massachusetts. It'd be a lot of driving, but I could do it. I definitely don't want to drive to San Diego, so I'd have to fly for the first time in, a while. So that makes me a little bit nervous, but, hopefully by then I'll feel good about it. Kurt says, since it's in Iowa, maybe they can deliver a taco pizza. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I mean, what else would I get? I mean, I'd probably do the veggie pizza because the taco pizza has a lot of meat on it. But yeah, Happy Joe's is the way to go. I think I'm probably gonna end up just having some in the car. It should be fine, right? Like a day old pizza, like sitting in a car in the summertime. What can go wrong? I don't know. We'll see. Yana says running a 50K for a pizza sounds like an amazing deal. I feel like I need to work on that somehow. Will says, in the meantime, even though everything's canceled in San Diego, he's got a marathon time trial set up for May 2nd, 1 week from today. Hope it'll go well. Never run a marathon alone before. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's tough. I did the 50K by myself, and I did the FKT, which is about 30 miles by myself. And they weren't the intensity of a marathon, though. And I just feel like that's the one event that I'm just not sure that I'd really want to do. So the people that can do it, I'm so impressed. You guys are so strong. I don't know if I could do it, but good luck. You'll have to let us know how it goes well. Jay from LA says, how many gels and how much water have you for a marathon, and how much will you for your 50K? For a marathon, I've never run a marathon like 26.2 where I had to supply my own water. So normally I will have, I'll grab water at an aid station every 5 miles or depending on how the race is set up, like in the 4 to 5 mile range, then I'll get water, and I'll usually bring about 5 gels as well. And, for the most part, I kind of have them at the same time. Sometimes I stagger them. But yeah, it's kind of like, if I feel hungry, then I'll have the gel a little bit early. If I feel thirsty, I'll hit the water station a little early. So I kind of go on that. But I usually plan on having, so if you estimate about 4 ounces per every water stop, that's about like 16 to 20 ounces of liquid for a marathon. And then, assuming it's not like 70 degrees or higher at the start. And then if you're assuming about 15 to 20 grams of carbs per gel, then you're looking at, for 5, that's like 100 grams of carbs. So it's a lot, but I always like to have more and then either end up not needing them, which has frequently been the case that I don't need all of them. But that's usually kind of what I think about packing. For the 50K, it's going to be a little bit different. The intensity is going to be a little bit lower. So I'm thinking I'm going to rely a little bit more on liquid and a little bit less on the gels, but I'll probably bring a lot of both. I haven't really done the math on it yet, so I don't think I'll be doing trying to go for 60 grams of carbs an hour, like they say for like elites to do, which I don't do for marathons anyway. But maybe I'll do like a gel for every half hour I'm expecting to be out there, and then just bring 2 liters, because that's my biggest bladder size that I have. 2 liters of liquid, and if I end up coming in heavy, I can't come in heavy. That's fine. So that's kind of roughly what I'm thinking now, but I'll probably try and dial that in a little bit with more specificity as we get close. Frank says 5 hours could be really, really fast for a trail 5K. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. So like my road 50K was 4:38, I want to say. I didn't really train for that either, but that was like what I did last summer. I started at like 2 o'clock in the morning here, and just ran it with definitely did not have enough liquid with me. I think I brought less than a liter and not enough gel, so that was a problem. So add in 5,700 feet of elevation, 5 hours is probably pretty ambitious. it said that you would be kind of like placed into the starting corrals at like based on your anticipated finish time, but there wasn't like a, like on most marathons when you sign up, like what do you expect your time to be? I don't think they asked me that, or if I did, I missed it. So right now I'm seated as like no estimated finishing time for this race, which is fine. I'll just start at the back, and if it ends up being like 5:10, 5.5, 6 hours, that's cool. I'm not in a hurry, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think though, if I do come in at 5 hours, I was looking at like the best performances for this race. It would put me in the top 10 in terms of this race, which I'm like, maybe I'm really underestimating how hard this terrain is going to be. Because some of the people that like, it's all an ultra sign up. And so you can like check out like the history of some of the runners, and the people that are like in the top 10, like some people have their names in twice because they've run it well a couple of times. And other people, like if you look at their other races, they're like winning or hitting the podium in other local trail races. So I'm like, all right, this is what like people who win races are running, like 450, 440. I'm going to get lost, number one. I'm not really used to that kind of running, number two. So like, I'm way overestimating my abilities maybe. But I think that's just kind of like, I'm going to go with the Stride foot pod for a flat race. Said I should run at 248 watts, and that would bring me in at like 430 or something like that, like 433 it said. So I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. So I think I'm just going to go at, that's why I'm thinking about doing that marathon a couple of weeks ahead of time and running it at like that race pace, maybe not the entire thing, but running at that race pace, just get a feel for like, can I maintain this for like this level of effort for that long? And then, I'll make adjustments once the hills hit me and punch me in the gut, like I anticipate that they will. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I usually when I get in a trail race situation or a trail running situation, people are usually, people's response to me when I get into the trail world is usually like, so you're going to try what? All right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And I'm like, and your skepticism is probably very reasonable, but I run 60 to 70 miles a week on regularly. So, I mean, aerobically, I'm fine. It's just a matter of like, can I race this? I don't know how to race this. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It could be a glorious crash and burn, but either way, it should make for a good video. Remy says he's heading back in June and hopes to reconnect with his pizza sponsor. Yeah, I love that. I love that story. Awesome. AAQ says getting sponsored by the Quaker Oats is the one company I want to get sponsored by. Really? Like the Quaker Oats, like the company out of like with the pilgrim on the package. Oh, Nike, he's an afterthought. Awesome. Super Small says, oh, why did it get chilly again? Way too tired to think about layers. Yeah, my wife went out for a long walk today. She's been doing a lot of walking, and I was like, you'll be fine with like a long sleeve and a vest. And she came back from her walk. I think she was out there for a couple hours, and she came back. She was like, it's way too cold. That was not enough layers. I was like, sorry. I did tell her to wear a winter hat though. It's cold. Right. Frank Figueroa says, congrats on the Eugene half marathon. I just completed my half marathon this morning. Hurt my left calf around 8 miles. Oh no. But before the injury, I was running about 7:30 pace. Came in at a time of 1:49.44. Awesome job, Frank. And finish at 8:23. Well, way to stick it through. Hopefully the calf is just a temporary thing. It's not an injury, but great job. Way to finish strong. Good work, Frank. All right. AJ Munn says, I think I'm going to see my family in Chicago this summer. Videos have made me want to go on a lakefront run. It's the place to run in the area. If you are, you got to do it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Leo O'Brien said, I ran a 4:35 mile yesterday. Amazing work. That is super speedy 4:35 mile. Crazy. I can't even I don't think my strides are that fast. And I'm only doing that for 15 seconds, let alone 4 minutes and 35 seconds. It's crazy. Frank says, if I go sub 5 in the crater race, I'll have done that race faster than any woman has, just for some perspective. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I need to reassess my ambitions for this. But I'm just thinking like 5, I don't know, maybe I think I'm putting too much road emphasis into it, but like 50K, I mean, I'm envisioning this 50K is probably more like a 55K, maybe even a 60. I'm guessing it's long. That's my number one. But assuming it is exactly 50K on the dot, that means 10K an hour. So 6 miles an hour, 10-minute miles on average. So I'm thinking, can I run 10-minute miles on average? I'm trying to think of like when I run up the giant hills in Gothenburg, which I feel like the terrain is going to be pretty similar to like some of the hills I've seen in Gothenburg, because it's geographically, it's the same geography. It's the same area. I mean, I think it's 70 miles apart, but all bluffs along rivers. So I think, although this is a crater, so it could be a little bit different, but the underlying like ground, the rocks that are there, I think are gonna be the same. So like when I do that, I think like in the big climbs, I'm running like 12-minute miles, so I just, but like then there's downhills too. So like I have no idea like how to overall like gauge it. If I'm running an easy pace, like my Maffetone pace, these days, depending on, how flat it is and how rested I am, it's anywhere between Maffetone paces like around 8:30 to 8:15. So I'm like, if easy, I can run all day easy as let's say 8:30, and then there's ups and downs. And I don't know. I just don't know how to do I don't know how to estimate time on that. So that's why I think that I'm just going to look at the power. But even then, the power number is going to be so out of whack because it's going to be such a high uphill and such a high downhill that I don't know. I might, again, for that, if I'm doing that marathon at the suburbs, figure out what my heart rate is at the power number that Stride wants me to hit, and then try to run kind of like by heart rate and figure out what just the general level effort is. And then whatever the time is whatever the time is. That's what I'm thinking. Secret Elite says more like 7 hours since I lack hill training. All right. Let's say somewhere between 5 and 7 hours. 7 hours seems long. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm a newbie in this world. If it's 7 hours long, then I definitely want a pizza halfway through. I'm definitely going to need a pizza. Alexander Latham says, the book, The Happy Runner, talks a lot about race-specific training before trail races and only really suggests specializing on trail 3 to 4 weeks before the race, if I remember right. I don't think I've read that book, but I can't remember the source. I want to say it was Jason Fitzgerald, the strength running coach. He has a YouTube channel and he's a podcast as well. I think it was him who was talking about that, where it's like people, or maybe whoever he was interviewing that day, or it was it Coopcast? I don't remember. I listened to so many podcasts and I forget it. But people were saying something similar. It's like, you don't have to train like in the exact terrain or altitude of where your race is going to be for like 10 weeks straight to have like a successful run, So I'm going to be underprepared for it in terms of hills and trail acclimation. I think, though, from an aerobic and a mileage perspective, I think I'll be okay. Yeah. She was supposed to know, will the drop bag person need to protect my food from animals? I don't know. I think the main animals that are out there, I think that there are bears. I think, like a lot of the animals that are in that part of the country, you're looking at like the main predators out there are birds, hawks, eagles, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure. Burp says there's a great hill at Blackwell Forest Preserve in Warrenville. It's called Mount Hoy. All right, I'll have to take a look at that to try to find some hills that I can run up. Otherwise, I'll just like run up the stairwell here in my building. I don't really want to do that because it's concrete and it's somewhat slippery even when dry. But we'll see. We'll figure out something. Tubin Boss says, "Hi, any tips or advice for someone who wants to run faster on a 5K race? Can't seem to cut my time anymore. Cheers." I mean, I'll give the one answer that I kind of almost always give is run more. So I don't know what your weekly mileage is, but you could probably, if you've hit a plateau, one thing to think about is increasing your weekly mileage and making sure you're staying consistent with that weekly mileage over the course of seasons and not just like a 8-week or 10-week training block. The other thing to do is work on the both ends, aerobic work, and then like strength training, like either really fast repetitions on the track, like 200s, really, really short stuff, and plyometric work, that kind of stuff, like leg strength, stuff that's going to really put spring in the step, that kind of stuff. Both of those things is what I would kind of focus on if you've been training it for a while and are kind of hitting a rut. Leo Brown wants to know if I was talking about that Waterfall Glen loop. Yeah, that's one that I've been looking at. I see a lot of people run it. It's 10. I'm way behind you guys in the chat. Sorry about that. It's 10 miles with about 700 feet of gain, it seems. So I think that might be one. Kurt says, my own advice is trail ultras are really so different than road racing. Throw stats out the window. For example, I did a trail 50K around when I was running 320 to 340 marathons and ran over 8. Ooh, that was on a very technical course. And on a flatter one, I ran sub 420. Really? That's such a big difference. All right. Point taken, guys. All right. Yeah, and it says 7 hours on the feet. I need to take on some form of real food, probably. You'll be sick of gels by then. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to want to eat gels for 7 hours. That's definitely for sure. I'm probably going to bring pizza. Is that a rookie move? Is that a real rookie move? I mean, Dean Karnazes does it, right? So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I could be like walking into a buzzsaw at this point. Well, I don't know. And Gaseous Day, we'll end on this one for a day. Gaseous Day says, ever thought about doing the Tough Mudder or Spartan races? Yeah, I'm not that interested. I love the idea of them, but I just the main reason is like I just don't want to be that dirty when I have to like drive home somewhere. And it's like, well, before I didn't have a car, and so I was like, how am I going to get there? I don't want to have to like rent a car to go do this event. And then like, how do I return a rental car when I like had to sit muddy and drive home like that? I don't know. I know there's kind of ways to hose off and stuff, but it's just like there's a messiness to it. And I don't know. For whatever reason, like that, or like an obstacle course racing, like is an interesting idea, but I'd rather just I'd rather just get lost in the woods, I guess, do it a 50K. So, I mean, that's it. Yeah. Martha wants me to pull the Dean Karnazes and order pizza. And Shannon, hey, what's going on, Shannon? How was the race today? She says, I saw people eating pizza at my backyard ultra. 50K seems like there would be less stop breaks than a backyard or a longer ultra. That's what I'm thinking too. And Cirrus NL says, ran a 2,500 foot elevation trail marathon in 4 to 5 the other day, though. The surfaces and types of climbs, et cetera, just matter so much. Yeah, this event, the climbs, there's like a couple. There's no point of it that's flat, but there are like maybe 3 major inclines, and it's just as quick a decline for the way that this race goes. So like, I'm thinking that I might just like hike up the really steep inclines and then run the rest of it, and then just not even bother, since I'm, if I'm in for a long haul anyway. So I don't know. All right. I think that's a good place to end it for today. I got lots to think about. Thanks to you guys reevaluating some of my ambitions here. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right. And don't forget, tomorrow, guys, we'll do another live stream. We'll do a Monday mukbang, but we're going to try 1 o'clock Central Time. We're going to try it out. It's going to work a lot better for me. Hopefully it'll work out for you guys too. We'll see how we like it. If it ends up that, it didn't work out for a lot of people, we'll do something different. We'll switch back to the time, but I'd like to see if we can make that one work. 1 p.m. Central Time, or 2 hours earlier than normal. hopefully I'll see you guys again tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.